Yes. Will we? Will they be able to hear? But that's good. They can hear here. Let's see if that's. Oh no. Right. We want. No, we don't want that. Where does that come from? Is that doing? Is that doing? Let's see if that is. No. Okay. So we want. We don't want rack PC. Let's see what's happening there. Okay, that's working. Okay, so that's fine. Why are we not getting? Let's try again. We had audio before, but maybe they're hearing it. So we got to come back to Toria. Come back to Toria. And we're there. Okay. But we'll see. It may not matter. It may not matter. Okay. Oh, great. Let's see. Hi, Maria. I'm just doing an audio check. Can you hear me? Just put in the live chat if you can hear me. Yes or no. You should be able to hear me. Great. Okay, good. So that's working. Fair enough. Thanks. Okay, good. So let's see. I'll leave that on. The overheads will work the other way. Good. So we'll do that. And we'll keep that there. That's great. That's great. So that's all connected. And then if so I'm connected, and then for the students, yeah. And then yeah, and then Maria, can you should be, yeah, you should be able to hear. That's fine. Be just like the morning class. Good. Okay, and Carol's in. Okay, so that's all working. The tech is working. Yeah. Okay. So that is cool. We've got so people will pop in that way. Now we could do this just for the hell of it. We'll exit, and we can always shrink that. Yeah, and then we can have some fun there because that is so cool. If we wanted to, we can go full screen. Then we get our our thingy there. Okay, we'll start in 10 minutes. Okay, just I'll be back in 2 minutes. Okay, I just want to do a little audio check one more time with our online participants, the students there. Um, and hi, Sujal, could you just, it's Lon Appleby, Professor Lon Appleby in the Global Classroom. Could you just let me know that you can hear me clearly? Just put a yes or no in the live chat. And then I'm going to, uh, great. Okay, now here's the big test. Sujal, could you just say hello on your microphone? And let's see if we can hear you. So unmute your microphone. Oh, good. Great. Maria, could you just do the same? Could you just say hello and say a few words on your microphone? I think we've solved the problem from the time.
Hello.
Great, great, good. Okay. So I know that we have the online, so we can get going. And I'm going to go over to YouTube now and actually just show the live stream from YouTube. It's a 10-second delay, but we can at least get going, and it's muted there. So I'll explain everything, folks. I'll leave this open for, yeah, this is all good. Everything is working, and we are about to take off. We're just sort of on the runway right now. Maybe just bring this down a little bit because it can get kind of bright. And so that's good for Maria and Sujal and anybody online. If you're having trouble, just jump on your microphone and say, can't hear you, or there's some problem, because right now I don't have the live chat up there, okay? But that's the way to do it. And then let's see what happens when we go over the smartboard. I go over there. Now, in 10 seconds, we're going to see that shoot over to the smartboard, and we can always go, yeah, so it did. Let's see what the latency is on YouTube right now. I know we've gone over on Toria. We should be there. Oh no, we didn't. Okay, so let's just see. It didn't go. Okay. Oh, it's because somebody's played with that. Okay. So we have our preset. So let me just get the preset on the smartboard, and then we can do that. And to do that, I have to do it from here. Right. So we'll move this camera over. Oh, yeah. Tori is being kind of weird. Okay, so there's latency everywhere. Who cares? Not going to get hung up on the tech for now. At least we've got our master shot, and that's good. Okay, so let's come back to YouTube, and we'll do it from here. Yeah. Okay. Oh, it's very latent. Okay, everybody. Okay, thank you. We need help. I need help. Thank you for doing that. And so there's still a bit of latency there, but okay, everybody, we can begin the class. And again, for the online participants who are popping in, Torian, Devansi, Sujal, Maria, of course, Carol, I see you there. You can let us know in the live chat if there's something, but more immediately is just jump on your microphones because it's a little complicated, but I'll just show you where the live chat is. I have to go back here and toggle back there. But I just want to show everybody what's happening on YouTube because that's a part. Welcome, everyone, to Humanities Destiny and to Durham College. First semester for some of you of the fall 2023 semester or academic year. And so there are a lot of you here who probably are in your first class for this semester, maybe even your first class at Durham College for the first year students. So that's a big step you've taken. And not only that, but you've taken it into quite a space that I'm going to tell you about. So, I am Professor Lon Appleby. You can call me Lon. And in this room, a lot of special things happen. This is a state of the art multimedia classroom that is pretty special here at the college, and we spent a lot of time building it. So, what I want to do today is help you to understand what Humanities Destiny is, the course that you're signed up for from 1 to 3 p.m. every Wednesday. I'd like you to get a feeling for what this course is going to be for you. And then by the end of today, you'll have a sense of whether you want to come to this restaurant every Wednesday from 1 to 3, or you want to go somewhere else. There's a lot of different kinds of foods available in this world. And I would not have any hurt feelings one way or the other. This may not be the class for you. Who knows? You have lots of great gen ed electives to choose from and time to switch and move around. But essentially today, that's what I want to do, is help you to understand what Humanities Destiny is, what this space is, what kind of educational experiment we've embarked on in the Rotary Global Classroom. And I want to hear from you as well in terms of what your expectations are. And so then I can leave today with an understanding of what the class is looking for, in addition to what I want to teach you. So I think you've probably sensed, just in terms of the way this is laid out, that this is different. This is the Rotary Global Classroom at Durham College. And in it, I teach the story of humanity. That's my thing here. Professor Lon Appleby teaches 3 gen ed electives: a short history of the world on Fridays, global leader on Wednesday mornings, and Humanities Destiny on Wednesday afternoons. And essentially, what I do is I try to help you to understand the human story on planet Earth. Where do we come from? That short history of the world. What's happening now on this planet as a result of humans? And where are humans going in this century and beyond, the third millennium, for example, the 2000s? That's Humanities Destiny. They take all 3 electives through their time at the college when they're here, and they get that complete sort of human story. Grayson, maybe, were you in short history of the world? Yeah, great. Okay, so I may draw on some of your knowledge to help them, but that's a big course and a big story. So you're in Humanities Destiny, and I need to understand today why you're here. I think I know why you're here, but you come with expectations, and I want to make sure that I understand what they are. So I want to first talk a little bit about this moment in history that we're at today, right now, and about our collective future. This class is about the human future and your future as an individual human. It's all about humanity. It's all about a big word I'm going to give you right now, and I might sometimes take a paddle and go down a creek, but I'll come back to the main river and we'll be in the ocean again. But sometimes I may go here, sometimes I may go there. Today, I haven't been in the classroom for a few months, so I'm a little rusty. But generally speaking, this is a class all about where are we going together on this planet. I suspect that a lot of you are very curious about how to answer this question. And so I want you to know that you're going to get a lot from this class. I promise you. And I want to tell you a bit more about what to expect, but I'm going to stop every so often to make sure you have a chance to introduce yourselves and ask questions. And I can explain how the whole process is going to work in terms of the fact that you can join the class any way you like. You can come in person, and it's great to see so many of you here. You can watch online, and join it that way synchronously, as a few students are doing right now. Maria, Sujal, and Devansi, I think it is. And then
Yeah.
you could watch it on YouTube and not even be a student here. You could do that too. We're very open. But then there are all the students who signed up who will be watching the recordings only, and they're posted every week on DC Connect. So you can come one week in person. Next week, you can watch from home while you're walking your dog, driving, as long as we have your brain connected. I really believe, I deeply believe, that we are coming into a golden age, a true golden age of human knowledge. And I've worked hard as an educator over these years, particularly through the pandemic, to figure out how do we use technology in a way now in the classroom where we can even be at the same level as you are when you are engaging with technology outside of the classroom. Education has been behind, has been old fashioned. We've got to get ahead now. So that's what you've entered into. It's called the global classroom. So I want to talk about that before I talk about humanity's destiny, because this space that you're in is something that I hope is going to be very inspiring for you. We've tried to make it that way. Might be a little chilly here, but I'll adjust the temperature later. But let me just stop for a second and we'll take this slowly. How many of you, just raise a hand, and for online, Sujal, Devansi, and Maria, you're welcome to participate as well. Just here for now, raise a hand if this is your first class at Durham College ever. Anybody? First year, first class? One. Okay, welcome. What's your name? Christina? Great. Is this the Christina who's in another one of the classes? Is it Toulouse? Because I was checking, there's 2 students I noticed today who are in other classes as well. So that's great. Are you going to be in, is it short history? Global leader. Did I see you this morning? Okay. So, great. So this is going to be a class where you're going to meet people who are at different levels. And today I want to give you a chance to interact with some of them. We may break out into threes and try to draw little groups where maybe Sujal can participate in a group here with some of you. So we basically create this amazing multimedia classroom experience for humanity. That's what's happening in this room. We're live on YouTube in high def every week, and we're recording there. Plus, you can come in person. The flexibility is not something I'm afraid of. I love it. I want you to be able to bring your computers in and your phones and use them. I'm not going to tell you don't, but I'm going to earn your attention. I'm not going to tell you, I want your attention. Now, shut down. It's not the way it's going to work in this classroom because tech is embedded in our lives. We have to figure out how to use it constantly in a way that's going to help us go further. But I'm going to engage you. I'm going to come up and I'm going to talk to you and I'm going to pull you in and help you to be in a classroom with people and your technology, but not allow your technology to take over your attention. Nor will I allow technology to do the work for you. We will talk a lot about AI, for sure, and about ChatGPT and all of these platforms. But I'm not afraid of any of this stuff. I want to engage us constantly in interaction and discussion on how we can figure out what we're going to do together going forwards in an extremely complex world. And if there's one thing that you can expect from me this semester that I really think will help you, and I teach this in all of my classes because it is the most important force in our lives today: complexity. Everything about your life, everything about the challenges we face in terms of the human future, everything about the planetary world that we live in today is so complex. If you don't get smarter and you don't start to understand how to deal with complexity, you will be left behind. And you will feel stress all the time, and you'll blame others for your problems, and you'll have all sorts of confidence issues. But if you are ready to face this complexity, you're going to really advance, and I can help you. So that's the one word. And here we will see a little bit of how this classroom works in action. Okay, just a little bit. Who feels like writing something on a smartboard right now? Does anybody feel like standing up yet? You don't have to. I'll do it for you because this is our first class and you don't have to do anything yet. So let me just show you something, okay? This is called the Global Classroom PowerPoint. But there are no PowerPoints. See, we create knowledge together. So watch how this is going to work. Imagine if I was standing in front of you now and I was giving a PowerPoint and you're all kind of drifting away into your websites and already falling asleep and waiting for the PowerPoint, and the PowerPoint's 5 years old, 4 years old. There are good PowerPoints. But wait a minute, I just said complexity. Okay, so bullet point number 1, imagine PowerPoint. But no, let's do it this way. Oops, this is from a previous class, so sorry, I didn't have a chance to. Let me go back. I will organize this later. And these are our slides we do together. Think of them as sort of fresh out of the oven slides. And we're going to put our first, oops, here we go. Here we go. I'll get there. There we go. Huh. So usually it'll be one of you writing, and it will look kind of interesting because you're writing with your hand, not with a keyboard. So the way you write is going to be interesting and creative and different. But here's how Lon writes. Complexity. Did I spell that right? I think I want to rub this off. See, it's up there. You don't even have to look here. So that's how we're going to get our knowledge together on this board. And then we save this as a PDF, and this is what you study. Okay, so it's warm here. I like that. Okay, so let's just say that, I like to be creative and draw things, and, you could come up and draw things here. Complexity. Yeah. There, and I can hit the camera. Those cameras there, I can come over here, but I'm too much to think about right now. It's okay. For all the people online, all the people watching the recordings, you can stand right there beside there, and the camera can shoot you, and it looks really good close up, that thing. But we'll just go off the video wall. $500,000 video wall here. We worked hard. Okay, so there's the first bit of knowledge for you. Complexity is going to be really important in this course, but I'd like to stop for a moment and see what's happening inside the brains and imaginations of the students who've come here at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And so far, we have eyeballs, we have listening, and stuff is going on inside your heads right now. I have no idea what it is. It's probably interesting if we were digging around in there, but at least you're listening. Humanity's destiny is all about the future. So it's all going to be about thinking ahead and how to think about the future. What would you like this course to be? What are you expecting? You probably have come with some ideas already of what you would like this to be. So what I'd like to do is start putting some thoughts on the smartboard on our live PowerPoint slides. Done 1 p.m., 1:30 p.m. on Wednesday, September the 6th, not 5 years ago or 3 years ago, live. Let's put some information down there, really important stuff. What do you want me to teach you that you think is really important about the human future? I have lots of things I can tell you about, and I will. But today, I need to understand a bit more about what you want, and I will continue to tell you more about what I will deliver. But let's stop. Does anyone feel ready to volunteer any information? You don't have to. Devansi, Maria, you're welcome to jump in as well. If there's anything you'd like to say, just jump on your microphone. Anything that you expect. Oh, we got it. Great. Here's the next thing. In order for the Marias and Devansis and all the people who join online, including all the people watching the recording, you have to be heard. Now, these microphones up here, they're too remote. So we do this. We go karaoke. Turn the mic and just hold it like karaoke, really close. And then the people watching the recordings later and everything, you see what they'll see this behind you, and they'll hear you nice and clearly. Okay, what's your name? Okay, Brandon. Okay, Brandon or Brendan?
Brandon, Brando.
Chapman?
Yeah.
Great, yeah, because I saw those. Brandon, welcome to Humanity's Destiny. What would you like to say?
When I think of the definition or the title of the course, Human Destiny, I believe a decent amount to know destiny, you need to know predictability. So based on our past history about what common things we keep doing and maybe many mistakes that we need to learn.
Yes.
Sometimes we do learn from those mistakes. Sometimes we keep constantly repeating it.
Yes.
For example, many irresponsible things about companies or possibly or just misleading information that could probably constantly be repeating over and over again.
Yeah.
And how we can be very discouraged or very close-minded of certain things like that.
Absolutely. Good points. Brandon, what program are you in?
Accounting.
Accounting. Excellent. In business?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we probably have other students here in business and different programs. Do you think that it's a kind of complicated thing today to figure out what's real and what isn't, what's true and what isn't? Do you find that sometimes difficult, that there's a lot of information that you're given online and you want to think about things, but it's really hard to know what's misinformation, disinformation, BS, and what's real?
I think it's dependent on how we describe humanity. Humanity as a broad thing, definitely, because many people who have different minds about how they think. So some people are a bit more closed-minded, think about differently, or maybe sometimes people have different mental problems. For example, autism could help people be a lot smarter for other areas, but be a lot weaker for certain areas like communication, but probably a lot more understanding with science and math, or probably just people who just think differently in anyway.
Yes.
If you think about more of a smaller group or something very specific like a singular person, then it's a lot easier to figure out what's misinformation versus real information by certain topics.
Well, it's great that you're beginning to talk about these things. Every time that you speak, I'm thinking about how to guide you to the question of our future and how to think about the future. And it's called humanity's destiny, not human destiny. It's a bit different. Humanity is all of us collectively. Also, humanity is a very loaded word, or we say freighted with subtext, because humanity also means the bond that keeps us together. Humanity means compassion. So when we talk about humanity's destiny, we're not just talking about humankind, we're also what is the future of compassion, of the bond, at a time when machines are becoming, well, there's a machine under everything now in our lives. everything. You are entering into, in your lives, in your careers, and in the lives of your children and grandchildren and others who come after you, one of the most complicated, unpredictable, strange periods in the history of everything on this planet. Because I'm going to give you something else that's very important right now, and then we'll move on to some other questions when we talk about the level of complexity. It is said by scientists today that humans are entering into a new geological era on this planet. An era which is defined by not the change that Mother Nature brings to the planet, but the change that humans do. We humans, through science and technology and all the things we've invented and all of our intelligence and collective learning, have reached a point on this planet that no other creatures ever in the 4.5 billion years of this planet's history. The only planet that we know of in the universe so far that has life, that has consciousness, that has intelligence. And we now are the ones, not the dinosaurs, not the dolphins, not the elephants, not your dog, cat. We are the ones creating the future more and more, not nature. And so what scientists are saying is that we have a new word we have to learn. And I'll write this down for you as well, and then we'll go on. I think it's exciting and inspiring, but it's also daunting and troubling. We call it the Anthropocene. Anthropocene. Have any of you heard this word before? You might have come with some knowledge already. The Anthropocene. Well, talk about complexity. Are you ready for a future as you pick your careers, have families, in which we're the ones changing everything? What if your children decide they don't want to be male, they want to be female? Have you ever followed the story of this wonderful Canadian actress, Ellen Page, who's now Elliot Page? She is not listening to nature in terms of what nature has told her or him, I'm sorry, he should be. They went and changed their sex. But nature intended her to be her, but she wants to be he. This is just a tiny example of everything that we can do now that extends into climate change. Oh my God, the wildfires that we've been seeing. I could go on. I only want you to understand that we have come into a period in history called the Anthropocene, which means human change. Human change. It's not the Holocene. It's not the Pleistocene. Go back in history. It's humans are driving what's happening on the planet more and more. Wow. But also, yikes. How do we know what we're doing? What if we create some kind of artificial being that will have sentience and feelings and reproductive capacities? But we create the algorithms, right? But what if the algorithms start to create their own algorithms and become kind of conscious? It is an amazing time to be alive, but also troubling and difficult and requires immense intelligence on the part of all of us. And so that's my mission in this class as an educator, is to help you to become good critical thinkers, very creative, and to calm down so you can think. To be able to use your brain, the greatest instrument that evolution has ever given any creatures to do things, your brain to take care of it, to become a thoughtful, global citizen who cares about the future and isn't afraid of difficulty, is ready and is informed about the difficult challenges that lie ahead. As I say this to all of you, just curious, let's start over here with a student who's already offered some assistance and much appreciated. We can go back to Brandon as well, but we're going to go around. In what I'm saying, what's your name? Kingsley. Kingsley. Yeah, I said Kingsley Service. Lovely name. Kingsley Service. Kingsley, am I depressing you in any way? Am I burdening you with challenges and difficulties and problems? Or do you feel that I'm speaking something that kind of makes sense? Absolutely. Good. Good. Yeah, good. Yeah. There's a good nihilism. Ooh, yeah. I like that word, but we won't go there yet, okay? But I would just say that there's probably a few nihilists among you. You just don't believe in anything. In fact, you're probably pessimistic. Oh, you're positive nihilist. Okay, good. Okay. Good. We're really going to touch on very soon, next week, we're going to separate and go, who are the optimists and who are the pessimists in this class and who are in the middle. And then we're going to have a little activity, and then we're going to check in with you through the semester to see if you're gradually changing your position or deepening or hardening your position. But a lot of how you see the future is actually based on whether you are kind of optimistic or pessimistic. But we need to look at the data to see whether the pessimists really have the evidence for it, or they're just scared people, angry people, or maybe they're realistic. And we need to look at the evidence to see if the optimists are naive, overly hopeful, too enthusiastic, lovers of technology, and don't understand what technology could do in terms of enslaving humans. So there's all sorts of stuff we can explore, but highly philosophical, Kingsley. And I'm so glad you mentioned that. So I hope that when we talk about the big stuff, the really big basic questions, as Stephen Hawking has said in his brief history of time, the big basic questions, that you will find them, even when they are really difficult, philosophically inspiring. Good. Okay, let's keep going a little bit more. So far, nobody seems distracted yet with their machines. That will probably change in a week or two. I'm not going to tell you, don't bring the machines into this class. Don't bring your phone, don't bring your laptop. As I said, I will earn your attention. However, we need to be able to figure out how to use our machines well, because that is such a basic part of our future. Our machines, our technology. We do live in the machine age, and it's led by humans and their amazing tools that they've created, all created by humans. Even the electron, modern electronics that drives these, comes from humans figuring out, we understand what's in the cell, the nucleus. We have subatomic particles, protons, neutrons, electrons. We grab those things and we create tools from those things, just the way Robert Oppenheimer. Have any of you seen the movie Oppenheimer? Raise a hand. Yeah, good. Okay. Just the way he has understood something about the power in nature. But let's stop for a second, okay? And this gives me a chance to have a little more fun with all of you. 2 students have seen Oppenheimer. That's great. Do you feel comfortable telling the rest of the class a little bit about what the movie explores without spoiling anything? Okay, that's okay. Let's make sure. Take a microphone. Yeah, Brandon, would you give it to? And could you give us your name, please?
My name's Spencer.
Re-
Spencer.
Spencer, welcome, Spencer. Okay, just karaoke so they can hear you
Yep.
clearly. And Maria, and you should be able to hear Spencer clearly. So you fell asleep a little bit.
Yeah, I went pretty late at like a midnight show, so I fell asleep near the end. But to me, it was really interesting. Like Kingsley said, I'm into philosophy
Great.
quite a bit as well. So yeah, just kind of all the research that he did for the atomic bomb and everything. Try not to spoil too much, of course, but yeah, just all the research that he did, the techniques that he used, I guess, for everything were really interesting.
Yep.
I'm just kind of trying to keep it
Great.
really broad, so I don't really say too much.
No, that's okay. But what would you
Yeah.
say, Spencer, is sort of the fundamental conflict that he faces that speaks to the human future? What would you say in that movie is really important for people to understand what's happening in that movie?
Um,
You can say broad. You can say broad.
I mean, I would say like kind of the backlash that he got for quite a bit of the stuff, but like he didn't really like let that phase him. He just kind of kept going with like on his path kind of
Yes.
thing. So
Okay, good. Thank you, Spence. Let's try over here, okay? Do give us your name as well and tell us a bit more. The life and the scientific courage and the discoveries that Robert Oppenheimer made and what he built is a huge part of the human future. But tell us a bit more about what might be something there that was a conflict or that you think is really important for us to understand. Go ahead and just give us your name.
Hi, my name is Prerna.
Pre-
Prerna.
P
Prerna.
Prena. Okay, good. Let's write this down.
Yeah.
Watch this. Watch this. You ready to write? Why not? Move around. Okay. Just. Could you tell what's your name? Zach. Okay. First, Zach. Could you write Zach on notes by Zach? Go ahead and see. Let's see if you can figure it out. Hold on. Take a thing. Take a stylus. Any side. And take it and just nice. So he was watching, and just write Zach. Oh, way to go. Okay. Now let's just double check something here. Okay, Maria, could you just put or say yes or no on your mic that you can see what Zach has written on the video wall? See if she's there. She may have. Yes. It was Maria. Thank you, Maria. She could be in Whitby. She could be in Oshawa. She could be in Bangladesh, for all we know. Dhaka, Bangladesh, right? Okay, good. So, could you spell your name for Zach so we can get your name up there too? Go ahead.
Prerna.
Lovely, Zach. Thank you. Okay. Notes by Zach. Yeah. It's going to be a franchise. Yeah. It's coming. Notes by Zach. I can see it. Okay. So let's, Prerna, what is this movie kind of talking about? Oppenheimer.
So I think everyone knows the basic history of what Oppenheimer did.
Do they? Don't assume it.
All right.
And we won't ask anybody any uncomfortable questions like, do you really know? We'll just assume for now that you want things explained clearly. And the fact that you have to explain it means you have to process it.
Right.
And here's the big thing. When you explain it, you can't go to your machine to get the answer for you. Not allowed. That just makes you a dumb slave of your machine. So you have to think. So go ahead and think and tell us about Oppenheimer a little bit.
Right. So if I had to describe the life of Oppenheimer, father of atomic bomb, he's the one who curated it, thought about it, processed it, helped in making it. I wouldn't say that he made it, but he helped in making it. So that would be the basic baseline that I can give for Oppenheimer. But the thing that I noticed the most was the conflict he faced within himself. Like, in the not spoiling it too much,
Mhm.
he was the one who was struggling that he wanted to achieve that, but when he achieved it, he didn't want that to exist.
And wow. Okay, I won't ask any more questions because you have to see what happens to him as a result of this. So this person, Zach, could you just write down atomic bomb? Atomic bomb. The atom. The atom. Imagine in 1945, when that bomb was dropped in Japan, August 1945, that's many decades ago. We all know what the mushroom cloud looks like. We're in 2023. Do you have any idea what nuclear warheads today? That's what you put on the end of a missile, and you can fire that missile to anywhere in the world, and you can blow anything up. We have a lot more power at our fingertips than we've ever had. This is the Anthropocene. This is the complexity. This is the power of what you have in your machines. That machine can captivate you, and you can be on it day and night. You don't even have to come into this world. You don't have to be in a classroom. You don't have to talk to any human beings. You can just be online day and night, going to this website. You can be eating there. You can be playing games there. You can be meeting people there. You can have an avatar there that's not even you. And soon there will be, all sorts of other opportunities. What power our machines have. This is something we're really going to try and get at this semester, is how to understand what are we going to do with these powerful machines? How do we know how to use them positively? So that's great. Thank you, Prerna, and thank you, Spencer. And Zach, if you don't, you can go grab a seat, but it's nice to see you at the note board because I like seeing people write. I think writing gives you power. If you want to know something about human history, maybe the greatest invention of all that humans have ever come up with, in spite of what Elon Musk likes to say, and yet one more tweet, and I don't want to rant about Elon Musk, but I know he's brilliant, but I can't stand hearing from him anymore. I think he's just gone way over the edge of needing attention all the time. And that's what your technology can do to you. Anyways, definitely, he understands something about power. And I want to just stop for a moment and make sure that you're understanding so far what we're doing in this class, because there are many things I can tell you. The most important thing is that today you leave here going, I think I get what this class is about, and I want to come here in person, and I want to do the assignments and the reflections. No quizzes and tests. I want to do the writing and think about these big basic questions, whether it's the future of freedom and science and religion, and when we start to get into space exploration, about how are we going to develop a human colony on Mars, and what's happening on the south pole of the moon right now. Looks like China's just arrived there. And are they going to be building something before everybody else? What are we going to do if China is occupying space? China with its big authoritarian communist government. No democracy there. Do we want them to be dominating space exploration and not working with any other countries all by themselves? They don't want to work with NASA. They don't want to work with the Europeans or Canadians. They're going to do it their own way. And now India wants to do that too. So I guess we're all going to take our wars up into space, and we're going to fight our wars that way. And it's not Star Wars. It's not a movie. We come into another word that is very, very important for you to understand. This is another dilemma we face as a result of our power. We live in a time of what's called omnicide. It's not just genocide. Meaning we can destroy all living things if we want to, if war progresses in that direction. We seem to have some very smart people today, entrepreneurs, technologists, engineers, who really want to create artificial life forms, artificial intelligence that is much faster than the human mind and is not human, but is something else. Do you want to be part of that world? What do we do to make sure that those machines don't destroy us? I'm not talking about an atomic bomb. I'm talking about technology. I'm talking about this idea that we can create artificial intelligence, robots, things that are human, but they're not. I just got back from Hong Kong. I was with my wife. She's from Hong Kong. I went to the university there, and unfortunately, I could not spend time in the laboratory there. They were too busy, where Sophia has been built. You know Sophia, the robot? Built out of a laboratory at the Science Park in Hong Kong. Have any of you seen? Yeah, sure. Well, why do we want to create something that looks like a human, acts like a human, reacts like a human, but isn't human? Why don't we do something else? We have to understand that. We have to understand what's happening in human beings that wants this. This is your world that you are entering into more and more. You have this ability to create these things. So there's so much that we can explore together. And I have it all laid out, but I just want to make sure we have a little connection today. What's your name? Nico? Hi. Do you mind taking the microphone for a second? In what I'm saying so far, is this stuff like all over the place and doesn't make much sense, and you want something laid out in a PowerPoint that's nice and concrete, but are you sure you're in the right class?
Well, I would rather it to be like talked to in person than online, in my opinion, because it helps me understand better when it's actually someone speaking in front of me rather than reading a screen. But that's just me.
We can learn from each other, can we? Is there anything you'd like to say to them about the future that concerns you? You could think. Are you worried?
I don't like this AI stuff.
You don't like the chaos stuff?
Yeah, the AI stuff.
Yeah. Okay, this is good. Now we're on to a little raw nerve. Excellent. Raise your hand if you agree with Nico. You're uneasy about this AI stuff. Let's see. Okay. Just a second. We're going to make a little note, and I'll write it afterwards. This will be interesting. Please keep your hands up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5. Spencer, 7, 8, 9, maybe. Would it be fair to me to say that these are the AI warriors, AI pessimists? We'll just say AI, not sure. Raise a hand if you are kind of excited and interested in where AI and artificial intelligence could take the human being, and you want to kind of be part of that. Raise a hand. Okay. 1. Definitely your hand's up, Spencer. So this is not so I'm going to include you in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And thank you. Maria, where would you put yourself on the AI kind of divide, if you will? Can you jump on your microphone and tell us? Are you still there? Let's see if this works. That's okay.
I would say I'm not really a big fan of it.
Okay, not a big fan. I'm going to put her with Nicole. Nicole? Yeah. 10. So we've got our first little scorecard developing that we're going to check in. This is all part of the optimists and pessimists that we will check in. Hate to do this too. Little Zach. Nicole, would you be able to go over and write something? Write a card? Yeah. Yeah, you can give that to Grayson. We'll hear from Grayson for sure. Could you just write down this, make a card? Just put down feelings about AI. Feelings about AI. Here's a PowerPoint that we create together, fresh out of your minds, not created 3 years ago from a textbook. Feelings about AI. 10, not sure. 8, looking forward. Thank you. That's great, Nico. If you want to add anything, by the way, these slides are, to me, can be works of student art. if you decide you want to start drawing something there to illustrate, or your imagination gets hold of you, being a human, our imaginations are virtually uncontrollable. You know I'm talking the truth here. You can't stop what you're thinking. You just have to get control of it, direct it, and make something good from it. I can't stop anything you're thinking. Good for you. Chimpanzees, they share about 98.4% of our DNA. They're our closest relatives, but they don't have the imagination that we do. So yeah, let your imagination go if you want, but thank you, Nicole. Okay, so we've established some things. We have a little bit of a divide growing in this class that we're going to have to check in on, which is there is some kind of disagreement about the benefits of artificial intelligence for the human being as we go forwards. And I'm talking about your future. I'm 60 years old. I'm planning on going, not retiring, and dying here when I'm 100. But after that, I'm gone. All the older people are gone. It's you guys, your children. They're going to have to deal with this stuff, and you're already dealing with it. So we're gonna revisit this and try to understand first what is artificial intelligence when we look at something called the next big thing, because that's one of our classes. Today, we're just introducing ourselves to the course, but next week, we're going to look at history's lessons. The following week, next big thing. Then we're going to look at the future of sustainability and human progress, future of a force like freedom and government and religion. Then we're going to take off and we're going to start looking at space exploration and where that's going and what we understand. And eventually, we're going to bring it all back at the end of the course to something called the human brain or neuroscience. Because the truth is, the future of everything in your life depends on what happens up here in your brain. Once upon a time, the Egyptians thought that the center, the seat of consciousness was in here, the heart. And they just sucked out the brain when they buried people through their nostrils because they hadn't figured things out yet, that it's up here with our neurons, our billions of nerve cells, all interacting through what's called synapses, sending information that is the most remarkable thing that's ever been evolved on this planet. And so understanding something about the future of neuroscience and about your brain is going to help you understand more about your future. So we're going to visit a lot of things, different aspects of our future. let's go to Grayson for a second, and then we'll kind of take a little quick break, but we're not going to break for very long. If it's okay, we'll end the class 15 minutes early and just take a quick 2-minute break or something to stretch. But Grayson, it's great to have you in Short History of the World. He sat here as a wonderful student, had a lot to say. As you're hearing this, is there anything you think that students should be thinking about in terms of humanity's destiny? Anything occurring to you at this point that you think is significant? Go ahead.
Not yet, but I think it'll come eventually.
Yeah? Okay, good. Always feel free to raise a hand if you have a thought, something you want to say. But why don't we just take a quick 1 or 2 minute break? If you need to go to the washroom, go fast, but no cigarettes or running off or vaping or disappearing. Stay on your surfboards. We've got to stay on this wave, okay? And then we'll come back in 2 minutes and we'll go all the way to 2:45. All right? Good. Okay. Let's see. Let's go over here to the Rotary Global Classroom. Anybody have a really interesting video on the human future they want to send me a link for? Just pop it into the live chat, or you can write the link up there, and I'll show it right now if you think it's relevant. Or you can click on the link for the class. So that would be here. I'll do this for a second. We don't need the audio here. Bring this down. Oh. So if you go to, oh, hold on. I'll leave this up here. Let's try it this way. Here's the class page on DC Connect. So if you just click here on the link, it'll bring you into our online class, and then you can just enter it into the live chat. If there's a link or something, you would be coming into our video conferencing system. It's connected to YouTube. So here I'll put, please, if you have a good video to show the class, send the link here now, and I will put it up on the video wall for everybody to watch. Oops. Let's see. Maybe Carol, you're in, right? If you want to, oh, she's gone. So if you have anything that you think you can come into the class through this link right there. It will take you in, and I'll show you what it does. Kind of. Yeah, so it takes you in. There you go. So it'll bring you in. Just like that. And then you just go to the live chat. Okay. Okay. So normally I'd have some things to show you. I just didn't have time to get that organized, but I will next week when we do history's lessons. And let's see what was NASA. Okay. All right, so that's the way in there. We'll come back here. I've got two things open there. Okay, so let's kill the audio there for a moment. And by the way, this is a live view from the International Space Station of the planet as it goes in orbit around the planet. So right now it's dark because the space station, which takes about 90 minutes to orbit the planet, is over China. And it's the middle of the night there, about 12 hours ahead. So that's why it's dark. But you can see the route of the space station as it goes around the planet in the lower left. Have any of you seen it before? The NASA camera, high-def camera? Yeah? Good. You would have seen, yeah? This familiar? Good. Anyways, I always like to see the planet up there. I'm going to try something a little bit different for the remaining half an hour of the class. I'm going to go on a limb. I haven't planned this out. I'd like to get people moving around a little bit. So here's what we're going to do. Yeah, Maria is a student from another class who's wanted to come and monitor this class a little bit. So if there were more students coming in live online, I might do it differently, but there's going to be a lot of students watching the recording. So I'll let them watch that later. But for now, I'm going to try something with all of you. I'd like you all to stand up. Okay? And let's see what happens when we create. I'd like to create 2 rows of students. So there will be the same number of students, and I'll make some room with the seats so we can open this out. They will all be standing facing this way. Okay, half will be facing this way, and the other half will be facing this way. So one student will be facing another student. And we're going to do a little speed sort of meeting to see who are the optimists and pessimists. We're going to start that a little bit earlier than I thought. So here we go. First, I'm going to count and see if we have an even number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Exactly. This is good. So I'm going to do this. You're number 1. You're number 2. Carol, you're number 3. Is it Maya? Number 4. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. Number 8. Number 9. Could 1 to 9 all stand shoulder to shoulder in front of the podium facing that way, please? 1 to 9. And we'll make room. Yeah, this is good. Okay. So there we have, and maybe I don't have to move anything. I worked hard yesterday moving couches around. Okay, good. And then finally, what's your name? Mubarak. Welcome, Mubarak. Thank you. Okay, the rest of you, would you please line up in front of, but with a little bit of space so it's not too intense, in front of one person. So each of you will be facing one person because you're going to talk to each other for about 3 or 4 minutes. And then I'm going to move you around and you're going to all meet each other. Okay. So Grayson, why don't you stand over here, okay? And we'll just start this out. Nikhil, is it Nikhil? Nico. Okay, Nico, could you stand over here, lovely lady? And then Zach over here in front of Carol. And then the rest of you, would you please come in and just stand next to Zach? We're going to get 9 people facing 9 people. I have not done this in a long time, but I thought, what the hell, we'll do it today. It's a great way for everybody to meet. And, okay. So we should have 9. So everybody should be facing somebody. Here's what I would like you to do. I would like first, everybody here speaks for about 3 to 4 minutes, and you explain to this person whether you think you're an optimist or a pessimist. Okay? And then you can ask questions a little bit of why, and then you explain back to him whether you think you're an optimist or a pessimist. And then I'm going to say, switch, and the line is going to move. And gradually, you're going to be meeting a lot of people and learning about who is optimistic and who is pessimistic. Very broad, very general at this point. Prerna. Yes, it is. We might call them the realists, but maybe they're the ones who just like the fence and waiting to see what happens. But there are some students in this class who are coming with some strong positions already, as we've started to see with artificial intelligence. So I'd like you to explore that with each other. I will probably put a clock up here that's ticking, and you will hear it going, and this room is going to start to get noisy, and most importantly, you will not fall asleep at this afternoon time when we tend to. And you get to meet each other. So is it clear? You kind of get the idea? On your mark, get set, go. Okay, switch. This time, move to your right, and you move to your left. One person. Okay. So switch, and it should rotate around. Let's see if this works. So yes, Kingsley, you come around. You come around here, and you should be facing Spencer. Okay. So you all move to your left. One. That's right. You come around, and you now face Spencer. Comes. There we go. This is how it will move. Okay. All right. I'm running a little troubleshooting now. Don't worry about the audio here. Yep. That makes sense? You see? Keep going. Yeah, I've got a problem. Yeah. You okay, Carol? Yeah. Okay, switch. Whoops. Go ahead. One, sorry, I'm doing too much here. Okay, switch. The clock, the bedside clock is now telling me to switch. Okay, switch. Go ahead. One. So move to your left. Yeah, everyone just move one to the left. Okay. Okay, switch. One to the left. That's right. You got it. One to the left. Shuffle down one. Yeah. we have an even number, so we should be, make a step, one step to the left, should always bring you to a new person. And then you come around, nice. Okay, good. All right, keep going.